In this video, I'm going to show you what an attribute is, what it can do, and how it can enhance your website. And we are going to go right to the finished product. Okay, so let's first look at what an attribute can do. First of all, an attribute can add a language. And on line number 2, in the green there is our attribute lang, and it stands for language equals English. So it can add in English language to your document. And I'm using Replit as my text editor, so everything in green colored is your attribute. So I'm not going to go over all these attributes, but another thing that an attribute could do, it can change the color of your font. As you look on line number 10, using style attribute, it can change the color. I changed it to red. It can change the font size and the font family. I changed the font family to monospace. So you can see the red colored font is different than the go to different page font underneath the roast pork there. Different fonts because I changed it there. Another one on line 13, your SRC, our SRC source attribute can actually pull a picture in, and I pulled the roast pork picture in. The ALT next to that, ALT in green, alt attribute, if the picture doesn't work, it'll show the text, the image of roast pork text. And then the width attribute right next to that can scale down the picture so it's not too large on your page. And the last attribute we're going to go over today is the Href, and basically that links a second page that I have here. I have page 2, so that can link a page. So another attribute can actually link another page or can link to a website. So let's click on go to different page, and it says hello friend. See, it linked us to a page 2 in our file here. So that's what it's done. Now we're going to recreate what we have here. Okay, I'm excited. We're in our blank slate here on Replit, on our text editor, and we're going to recreate what we had on the other page using attributes. Now you can see in Replit, they color code the attributes green. So there's already a bunch of attributes on here. We're not going to worry about today in this tutorial. We're just going to add the ones that we had before. So let's go to line 2, the HTML, the element there, the line 2, that's the opening tag. And if you look at line 13, that's the closing tag. The attributes go in the opening tag of the elements, and we're going to call this lang, meaning language, and then you need the equal sign, and then the quotation sign, en stands for English, and let's end that right there. So we added the language attribute, woohoo! Okay, it's not going to change anything on the right because everything in the head you're not going to see on your website. It's only in the body. So let's go down to line number 9 into the body. Let's hit return. All right, let's pop this up so you can see it. Okay, now we're going to do an H1 here, and let's close this opening tag, and then we have the closing tag there. So like in our previous example, like I said before and after, we're going to say here, change color to red and font family to monospace using style attribute. Okay, we're going to use the style attribute on this one, period. Okay, so change color to red and font family to monospace using style attribute. And I'm going to go to the opening tag here, and I'm going to click a space because we have to put it in the opening tag, and we're going to type style because it's the style attribute. Okay, and then we're going to it already auto-populates, so we can do that. We don't have to put the equal sign in. So we're going to put color, and then you need a colon, space, and then we're going to do red. And then we're going to do a semicolon because we want to add font family as well. So font dash family. Okay, font dash family, colon, and we want to add, say, monospace. Monospace. Okay, monospace right there. And then we're going to end that with a semicolon. You always have to end that with a semicolon. Let's hit run, and boom, change color to red and font family to monospace using style attribute. Perfect. Look at that. Okay, so next we're going to go down and we're going to add an href attribute. And we're going to go down to line 12, hit return. I'll hit return again so it's easier to see. And in this case, we're going to do the anchor tag, anchor element, so A. And then the next one is going to be the attribute. Href is our attribute. Href equals, and then let's do quotation. So what the Href attribute is, it's going to link this page to page 2. So we're going to put, I already have page 2 in there, page 2, 2.html. That is what our page is called, page2.html. Okay, let's close that, and we're gonna say go to page 2. Okay, go to page 2, and then let's run that and see what it looks like. Boom, go to page 2. Perfect. So if we click on go to page 2, boom, it says hello friend, because on the side here I have a page 2 already made, and that says hello friend down at 11. So basically linked the index page to page 2. Let's go back to the index.html. Let's click on here. So the href can link a page in your file, or it can link a page outside of your website. So perfect. So now, and you've noticed that go to page 2 is a different font than the one above. It says change color to red because we changed the font above it. So now one more thing we're going to do, we're going to add an image here using the src attribute. So we need to do img image. We're going to create an image tag or image element space. Now the attribute's going to be called src, which is source, because it's going to take it from the source of where the picture is coming from. I already have a picture on my left side there, and it's called roast pork, and it's called roast, and I am going to misspell it on purpose. I'm going to call it rostpork.jpg. So roastpork.jpg. So I'm going to show you also another attribute. It's called the alt attribute. Now the alt attribute, we're going to put here image of roast pork. If you misspell the JPG or the anything that's the link to it, or by chance you the picture's not there anymore, if you hit run, boom, it's going to say image of roast pork in text instead of the picture. Now I don't want that right next to it, so I'm just going to put a little break here. Go to page 2. Let's just hit, I just want to put a little break here, and we're going to do that with a BR, so that the image of roast pork goes down to the next line. So let's hit return, and boom, image of roast pork goes down to the next line. Great. So now let's get the image of the roast pork. Let's spell it correctly. Let's go back into line 17 and RO. Let's add the A. Okay, and then let's hit run. And there. Okay, now the roast pork is huge. So let's add another attribute here, and let's make it smaller. So let's go after the alt here. Let's click on, which is my line 17. Let's click, hold on a second. Let's click, okay, let's click space. And then we're going to type in width attribute, width. And then we're going to say equals. And then let's do a quotation in the front. And then we're going to say 100 pixels. And then let's do an end quote. And then let's close this with our greater than sign. Great. So we're going to change that to 1. So with, hold on a second. Something's wrong here. I see. We need to do something here. We need to put an end quotation here because it didn't turn green. There. Okay, now with turned green, that means it's an attribute. So now let's click on run, and boom, you can see it's 100 pixels. It's much smaller there. You can even change it. We can change it to 200 if we want. Let's change it to 200 and see what that will look like. Maybe a little bit bigger. There, it's a little bit bigger. So I just showed you a bunch of different attributes. Attributes, as I mentioned, can enhance your website. They're fantastic. They're placed in the opening tag. On line 2, we did the language attribute, and then on line 14, href attribute. On line 10, we added the style attribute. And then on line 17, we added 3 attributes, the source, the alt, and the width attribute. Attributes are fun. There are a ton more attributes out there to use. I just showed you a few and showed you why they're great for your website, why you need to use them. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe below, and we'll have more videos coming out very soon. Thank you, and goodbye.